cheese. Hello everybody and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica Hitt and today we are doing Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which came out just a couple weeks ago. So here we go. What most reviewers and critics have been saying about Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is that it's good, just not as good as the first one, which has kind of put this weird like black cloud over this movie. And I do agree with them. I think this is still a really fun follow-up movie to Guardians of the Galaxy, but it is nowhere near as good as the first one. It's definitely a little bit less fun than the first one, just because this one does kind of have more of an emotional hold on you, especially with all of the stuff with Star-Lord and his father Ego. That can hit in like a really hard place, I think. And also you still have a lot of like infighting, especially between Rocket and Star-Lord, which I personally don't think fully resolved itself. Like there was no real heartfelt moment between the two. Also, there wasn't enough Rocket in this movie for me. He is my favorite character, and I wish there was a little bit more of a spotlight on him. I wish we learned a little bit more about him. Like one of my favorite moments in the entire first Guardians of the Galaxy is when they're drunk and he and Drax, I think, were fighting, and Rocket is drunkenly saying that he was being made fun of and blah blah blah, and like rips open and you see his back, and I really like that like small little character development that just like adds so much levity to that performance as a raccoon, I guess. But I didn't really feel like I got enough of Rocket in this one. I feel like we got a really good amount of Baby Groot, which was, it could have gone really badly. They could have leaned too much on him. I really think that the marketing of this did this really well, where the first one had a lot of Baby Groot, the first trailer, and then basically all the trailers after that had just a tiny bit of him, and they really focused a lot on Drax, which I love Drax as well, so that was always fun to see. He didn't have any necessarily like standout moments in that one, like he did in the first one, but of course we're not new to the character, so we're not going to be like so laugh out loud funny with this guy who doesn't understand jokes or sarcasm or metaphors or anything. Also, I actually felt a lot of chemistry between Zoe Saldana's Gamora and then Chris Pratt's Star-Lord, which I didn't really see very much in the first one, but I saw a lot in this one. I thought it really worked, and I am pretty excited to see where they go in the third movie with that, or if it's, I don't even know if it's going to be shown at all in any of the Infinity War movies for part 1 or part 2, or they're 2 separate movies now, blah blah blah, I know. And of course you have the addition of Yondu and Mantis into the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I guess Nebula too, kind of. I think the dynamic between Nebula and Gamora being explored in this movie was kind of the heart of the movie. I really enjoyed it, and it definitely made me like Nebula more, because I'm a big fan of Karen Gillan. She's my favorite character in all of the Doctor Who series. And her performance as Nebula in the first Guardians of the Galaxy was like good, but it wasn't like amazing, you know? But this one actually made me really feel for her, and it kind of turned the tables on the fact that, you know, Gamora is supposed to be the hero of the story and Nebula is supposed to be the bad person, where you see that when they were kids, in Nebula's mind, she was the one who just wanted a sister, and Gamora was the one that just kept on beating her and attacking her and not giving her any like leeway or any of that, because she was just trying to survive, because I think in her mind, she doesn't have a family. I think Gamora is probably the best character in this entire movie, which is surprising because she was like my least favorite of the Guardians going in, but she is now really risen up, and she's really coming into her own as a character. And then you also have Mantis, which kind of joined. She was like the personal assistant to Ego, and she was, I think, a good addition. Very interesting. There's some very interesting interaction between her and Drax, where it's like, I still don't know if Drax actually likes her, or if it's literally just going to be a joke to where he's always saying that she's disgusting and all of this kind of stuff. But I think it's an odd, cute little pairing that they have, so I kind of enjoyed that. And then of course you have Yondu, who I love Yondu. I loved him in the first one. This one really opened my eyes on him as a character, and also it gave us a really good insight into the Ravager community, where we saw, of course, Sylvester Stallone and all of the Ravagers having this sort of code to live by where they don't deal with children, and he dealt with children. And then you find later on, of course, this is a mild spoiler, so please do not continue watching this if you have not seen the film. If you've seen it, obviously keep watching because it won't be a spoiler for you. But once he finds out that all the children that he's been delivering to Ego die, he keeps Star-Lord and, you know, uses him to be a Ravager and kind of raises him as his own son. And that's kind of what Star-Lord sees at the end, is that really Yondu was his father growing up, which is like this really sad, weird dynamic between them, especially when he was like so gung-ho about Ego being his dad. Like he was very like off on him at first, and then as soon as they played catch, he was like, that's my dad, you know. And then of course Ego turns out to be a sadistic, child murdering psychopath. But I also really liked Kurt Russell as Ego. He was a great villain in this, that like he doesn't have the same problem as a lot of the Marvel villains to where they're not memorable. I think that Kurt Russell's Ego is incredibly memorable. And even though, of course, he has this thing where he's just destroying all of the planets like everybody else, he does it in a way that's so charismatic that you're kind of like, no, yeah, destroy everything. You're Kurt Russell, like, I'll let you do anything. And also, one thing I want to touch on is the music, while it's still good, not even close to how good the first soundtrack was. Not even close. I could name several songs from the first soundtrack. I did not have one standout song in this entire movie, which was really disappointing on my end, because the music was so central in the first one, and like all the time these songs came on, I was like, oh yeah, this is a jam, this is great. And then he flipped it over at the end to do volume 2 of the music cassette that he found, and of course it's like one of my favorite songs ever, and then I'm like, oh, this next soundtrack's gonna be so good, and I like I could not actually name one song that was on the soundtrack. I mean, I probably know them, but like right now off the top of my head, I could not do that, which is disappointing. I did really enjoy the very beginning when Baby Groot is the one dancing to the song, as opposed to Star-Lord doing it in the first one. I thought that was really cute and really smart, and a really fun way to watch them do business with the Sovereign. Oh yeah, and then you have the Sovereign, which, you know, didn't really do much. She just had a lady who's a little high and mighty. She needs to get off her high horse, really. But she's at there's 5 end credit scenes, and in one of them she like creates Adam, which I know a lot about comic books. I don't know where this is referencing. I actually haven't even read an article about what this is referencing, so I should probably look that up and figure out what the hell's going on, because I need to know. I need to know who she is creating. Also, this has 5 end credit scenes. I feel like this is the biggest FU Marvel has ever given us. Like, in the first one they were like, you're gonna spend a lot of money on this movie with a freaking raccoon and a Groot, which is a tree, voiced by Vin Diesel, and you guys are gonna like it. And then this one, they're like, we're gonna make you sit through 5 end credit scenes that don't really do anything. I feel like I should watch this movie again if I'm going to rank it, because right now I really, honestly, can't even remember my list, to tell you the truth. God. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the movie. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, what were your thoughts of Guardians of the Galaxy 2? What are you guys expecting for the 3rd movie, which is already being written and directed by James Gunn, which I'm very excited that he's continuing on with the trilogy. And also subscribe. I try to make as many videos as possible, and since you've stayed this far into this video, I do want to make a small little announcement that I might be trying some different things, maybe some sketches on this channel. So if you see something weird pop up that's not a review, if it's not your thing, don't worry, don't click on it. I will also be doing movie reviews and TV reviews and stuff like that. Just want to try some different things, some characters that I've been working on and little quirky ideas. It's not going to be like a huge change to the channel. I used to do this kind of stuff before I did reviews. So if you guys are interested in that, please click on that and comment and share and do all that stuff, because I still don't have any subscribers. I'm begging you. I'm desperate. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later. Bye!